What up, guys? Joachim here, and this video is going to focus on continuing our reading through John chapter 1 in Greek, in the original Koine or Kini Greek that the New Testament is written in, which is pretty cool. And so we'll focus on verse 4, I think, for this, verse 4 for this today, and then we will review verses 2, 3, and then preview a little bit of 5 for tomorrow. And so I'll put the text from the Interlinear Bible. I mention this in every video, but there are links in the description box below where you can, click on the link to this Interlinear Bible from Bible Hub, and you can read along, study after this video is over, of course. And I do recommend that you do that. On Quizlet, there is a page that goes over the vocabulary for John chapter 1 in Greek, and you can tap on the words or the speaker, and it will give you a computerized recording of the word that it's doing. And then also there is a link to a Greek speaker, modern Greek voiceover, person that read through the entire text. So that is also something good that you should be listening to. I try to listen to it, 3 or 4 times a day. And then I have other things like what I just mentioned that I do too, in addition to this. So this is all leading us up to being able to read on a more extended basis. But, we have to build a base first before we can do that. So without further ado, let's begin John chapter 1, beginning at verse 4. And it says, "In αυτό ζωήν, και η ζωή in to phos των ανθρώπων." Let me read that one more time, try to get a little more smooth. "In αυτό ζωήν, και η ζωή in to phos των ανθρώπων." All right? So we have in, which means in. We've done that a bunch of times. Afto, him, and zoe. This is a new word. So zoe, life. Zoe, life. Zoe, life. In was. In afto zoe in. In him life was. In afto him zoe life in was. Ke and izoi the life. Izoi the life. Izoi the life. Ke izoi and the life in to phos των ανθρώπων. In was to phos the light. To phos the light. To phos the light. To phos των ανθρώπων, the light of men. When you should starting to notice some of these grammatical features, but when you see ton, like we see it here where it says phos των ανθρώπων, it takes the word that was beforehand, the light or phos, and applies it to the word that comes afterward. I'm not sure exactly how that works yet, but as we go through this, eventually we'll start to look at more grammar. But right now, I think it's just good to start to notice some of these things. So, phos των ανθρώπων, light of men. To phos των ανθρώπων, the light of men. To phos των ανθρώπων, the light of men. In αυτό ζωήν, in him life was. Και η ζωή in to phos των ανθρώπων, and the life was the light of men. Και η ζωή in to phos των ανθρώπων, and the life was the light of men. Και η ζωή in to phos των ανθρώπων, and the life was the light of men. Και η ζωή in to phos των ανθρώπων, and the life was the light of men. So going back to verse 3 now, we have Panta di αυτό ηγένετο. All things through him came into being. Panta di, all things through, αυτό ηγένετο. Him came into being. Αυτό, him. Ηγένετο came into being. Ke choris afto iginato. And without him came into being. Ke and choris, without. Afto, him. Iginato, came into being. Ke choris afto iginato. And without him came into being. Ude en oyegonan. Not even one thing that has come into being. Ude en oyegonan. Not even one thing that has come into being. Ude en oyegonan. Not even one thing that has come into being. Panta di aftoi ginato. Ke choris aftoi ginato. Ude en oyegonan. All things through him came into being, and without him came into being not even one thing that has come into being. And review of verse 2. Utos in en archi proston theon. He was in the beginning with God. So I'll begin reading verse by verse now, beginning with verse 2. Utos in en archi proston theon. He was in the beginning with God. Panta di aftoi ginato, ke choris aftoi ginato, ude en oyegonan. All things through him came into being, and without him came into being not even one thing that has come into being. En aftozui in, ke isui in to phoston anthropon. In him life was, and the life was the light of men. All right, so listen to that. Listen to the recording that I post that is in the description box below. Review the vocabulary on Quizlet and look through these passages yourself. If you are just starting out and you've been you've been writing down the alphabet 2 or 3 times a day in Greek, you should hopefully start to be picking up on some of these letters and sounds and starting to make the connections with that. But if not, make sure you increase the number of times that you're writing down the alphabet with English equivalents of what sounds each letter makes, so that you do start to make that connection. And we will kind of briefly go over or just preview verse 5, and that will be it for today. So verse 5, Ke tophos enti skotia finne, ke I skotia afto u katelevan. All right, so that is it for today. You guys take it easy, and I will talk to you in tomorrow's video.